This is Daniel the Zander. We've just come down to the canal. We've actually been fishing today. I'm just going to slip him back. Look how spiky he is. Woo. We've actually been fishing today, haven't we, Thomas?
We've been on the Maven Match disqualified today, haven't we? At the lovely Decoy Lakes complex out near Peterborough.
In Whittlesea, yes.
And although we haven't won and qualified, we've had quite a nice day's fishing, haven't we, Tom?
Oh, lovely. Been red hot. I had a nice day. I was on, what lake were we on? 6 islands.
6 islands.
Even though actually there's only 5.5 islands on the lake now.
How can you have half an island, mate?
Because apparently one of them's eroded away.
Ah.
Weathered away, and now it's just a little stump.
Nothing worse than a little stump.
It's not the first little stump I've had in my life, I'll tell you that.
Is it not?
Certainly not. But I had a lovely day, mate. I ended up with £174.11.
Yes.
Which put me second on the lake and 7th on the match. But I had a very interesting day's fishing.
Right.
Because we got there this morning, all the fish were spawning, weren't they? They were splashing about in the edge, and the owner said you've got to be careful where you fish, obviously. Don't fish among spawning fish right in the margins. So I started on the short pole, caught a couple straight away, went across to the island, caught a couple across to the island, but it wasn't quite right, and I thought, if I'm going to win anything here, I need to attack a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hey up. Ooh, see that?
That crayfish.
I think that might have been a crayfish, yeah. But I need to attack it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I come back short and started really blasting casters towards the island. And after about half an hour, went on it and caught really well. But it wasn't great. It went a bit quiet after a while.
Yeah.
Thought I need somewhere else to go, and I thought, well, casters are working over there. So I might start throwing a few down the edge as well. I'm going to put another worm on.
Go on.
Thought I might start throwing a few down the edges as well.
Yeah.
So I started throwing some down the edge, and a few fish came there, and I basically used one rig, about 14-15 inches deep, with a little worm head on the hook, and alternated between fishing down the edge shallow and across to the island shallow. Caught a load of F1s, an odd carp. However, I was beat for the lake win by Jason Collins, who beat me by £1, the devil. It was opposite me. But
very inconsiderate.
it is, but a lovely lad, great day, and you had a very nice time as well, didn't you?
I had a fantastic time, mate. I tell you what I did. I drew peg 25 on a lake called Oak Tree.
Yeah.
Which was a nice looking lake.
Yeah.
But I was told it's not the best area. I was told that you needed to really be the top end of the lake. But in my favour, the wind was pushing sort of towards the end of the lake that I was more in the general direction of.
Yeah.
Although, to be honest, I was pretty central, so I didn't quite know what the locals were about in terms of one end being better. But it sounds like the fish were normally the top end.
Right.
Guess who drew there?
John Arthur.
John Arthur.
John Arthur.
He wasn't on an end peg, but he were on a good peg, apparently.
He probably sacrificed his end for a bit better peg, didn't he?
I had a really nice match. It was hard to start with. I thought I'd try and catch some fish short, couldn't catch short. And then you mentioned the fish down the edge. I fished in a bit deeper water, just down the ledge in about 3.5, 4 foot of water.
Yeah.
I tried there, and it wasn't right. I fouled a couple and thought, no, these aren't feeding fish, so I went shallow. And I've just picked off the odd fish shallow all day, basically.
You had some big uns?
No, they've probably averaged £6.
Right,
But I've not had any bigger than £8, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A nice stamp fish, but no real lumps. It's a couple of interesting things. First interesting thing with the shallow fishing today, slapping wasn't right at all.
Really?
Tried that. It's dead interesting. It brought them into your peg. It seemed to bring them in.
But then you want to eat your bait?
Then you'd sit for like 2 minutes and then you might get one.
Right.
But much better with sort of, I call it old school shallow fishing, where you I was loose feeding quite a lot, little bits of bait regular, and just doing this from a rig every 3 or 4 seconds. And every now and again, he'd lift it up and it'd go. Lovely day's fishing. Unfortunately though, Chris Barley beat me by £1.
Devil.
And I ended up being 4th on the lake, and they only paid 3, which I thought was very inconsiderate of them, considering the fact that I was 4th.
Well, it doesn't matter though, does it?
No, mate, listen, every cloud has a silver lining, isn't it?
Of course it doesn't. Silver lining for you is being brought down to the canal, fish and chips on the bank on this fine evening.
Yeah, we've just had some fish and chips. We've got a few Peronis to drink, and it's great, and it's my turn to have a go fishing, I believe.
It certainly is. And just one more thing we've got to say, a massive well done to the match winner, haven't we?
He's done absolutely brilliant today.
We even got a little interview with him, didn't we?
We did, and we'll slip that in now. Well, I'm here at Decoy Lakes with the Mather Match This qualifier from this round. It's your second time in the final. Gary Bell, very well done.
Thank you.
You've got £211 today, haven't you?
Yep.
How have you caught them?
90% of them come on the feeder. I thought instead of fishing 16 metres to the end, I'll just throw the feeder in and on a dead maggot, 2 mil pellet, dead maggot.
Well, obviously, you know, there's some big fish in this lake, isn't there? Have you had mainly big carp today? Have you had a variety of stuff?
The biggest carp I've had is probably £5. Majority of fish were between £1 and £2.
Had a really busy day then, haven't you?
Yeah, F1s, 10s and barbel.
Awesome, so a real mixed bag.
Lovely.
I mean, was it last year you fished the final, Gary, or the year before?
2 years.
2 years ago when you were in the final. Do you fancy the chances of going back into it?
Well, you got to at the end of the day. But 2 years ago, I drew the shallow end.
Yeah.
And it was just not good at all. No one caught it from the shallow end. I think 30 odd pound was the highest weight. So I'm hoping to draw either halfway or down the upper end.
Well,
and then I'll fancy the chances.
Fingers crossed. Very
Thank you
best
very
of luck.
much.
Well done today.
Cheers.
And what kind of bait are you going to put on that?
I'm going to put on this. Recording.
I know, I've got you.
I'm going to put a piece of worm on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A bigger piece.
Bigger piece of worm.
With the intention of catching a bigger fish.
Matt, size isn't everything, but if you're going to have one, you might as well have a bigger.
That's my theory, love.
Absolutely.
In the
You know,
nightclub.
I was going to say that. At 2 o'clock in the morning, we've both been partial to living by those rules, have we not?
We certainly have. But you didn't live to those rules on Sunday in the match on the new Junction Canal, did you? In practice for the Drennan Knockout Cup round 2.
I had an absolutely lovely day's fishing, mate. Probably one of the best days fishing I've had this year, that was.
Yeah.
What it was, when we got to the peg, well, got to the canal, should I say? No, I think that particular end, but we both said we couldn't believe how many fish were moving, could we?
They were topping everywhere.
The canal was just literally alive with fish of all different sizes. Topping, things moving, swirling. And as the start of the match got closer, these fish could only be seen in front of me and no longer in front of everybody else.
Aha.
And I remember thinking to myself, this is great. Because the chances are I'm going to catch these fish and other people will not be able to. And I did. I caught a £13 roach on squats. It was lovely. The interesting thing was, I caught some on the bottom. I loose fed quite heavily. And then, well, to start with, to tell the truth, I didn't loose feed anything. I just caught what I could over my bait.
Yeah.
And when it started to die, I started to loose feed a bit heavier. And then I've caught really well shallow. I've had a really good half an hour. Probably put 2 or 3 pounds in it in half an hour shallow.
You caught a lot of perch as well, didn't you?
Yeah, really weird. But it was a bright hot day, wasn't it? And I just think a lot of fish were sat mid-water.
Yeah.
Then, as the day's gone on, it just went a bit iffy, my squat line. I think it was because I've possibly been a bit too aggressive with that shallow fishing. So it was time to just cut back and just pick off the odd fish.
Right.
But yeah, I ended up with £13, which I was surprised. I didn't think I'd got that much, because the fish weighed a lot better than I thought. Kean Wardle caught £11. He had 4 skimmers and some bits. And Steve Harwood on the end peg, he had £13 too. So I only beat him by a couple of ounces.
Yeah.
There was a nice match to win. But Matt, can I just ask you, with all them roach you catch, why the hell did you fish lobworm and perch?
Well, to be honest, mate, I thought Tom's going to catch a load of roach, he's going to put in a performance for them, and I thought it'd be good if I could come second to him with sort of £12 of perch.
Yeah.
But the plan didn't go very well, to be honest.
Right.
I ended up catching £3.13.5 of the little devils.
Yes, but I think you put in a magnificent performance.
It wasn't, in fairness, it wasn't as good down our end of the canal. It was very difficult. Scott Jeans to my left had a perch. Ben Roberts to my right had a skimmer. Ed Warren next to him had a perch and a pike, which didn't count. But were really difficult. But I managed to catch like sort of a dozen little chunky perch, just fishing with lobworms. And I really enjoyed it. It were a bit like lure fishing with a lobworm, I was chucking it in and jigging it about, and I'd feel one grab hold of it. I mean, it were a little bit like hard canal fishing sort of thing, but I enjoyed it.
I think it's going to be a really, really interesting next round for them, because it's definitely going to be patchy, it's definitely going to be peggle, but the way that we're doing it in terms of the top 5 in each 10 peg section qualifying,
yeah,
you know, I think in most areas there'll be a way of doing something from the peg that you're on.
Yeah.
Whether it be roach fishing with squats or in the harder bit, it's going to be doing what you had to do, isn't it?
And Alex Hume, just a couple of pegs down, he were one off the end. He, in the middle of all the rubbish bit, he caught 2 big skimmers for £7. So with fish like that cropping up all over the place, it's certainly really. But we're here at Braunston, at Daventry really, aren't we? Welton.
Yeah, Welton.
On the Grand Unique. It's actually an old famous match length that up there. Call it the Runners. Dean Barlow was telling me about it once. So Dean.
I don't know why they call it the Runners. I haven't seen many runners.
No, it's not. I don't know why it is.
What are cyclists?
It's because apparently there's some water runs in.
Is there?
Yeah, so they call it the Runners. We've caught a zander and a perch so far.
You've caught a zander, but I haven't caught anything.
Yeah, but you're going to catch me one, aren't you? In a minute?
Absolutely, I'm going to catch you one.
If Tom catches us one, we'll come back in and show you what it is.
Mate, it's very nice of you to try and blot out Saturday, because I don't really want to talk about Saturday, but we've got a duty of being honest.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Ah, Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
I didn't go fishing Saturday.
No, you didn't, but I did.
Ah, how did you go on Saturday?
Caught £7. And the lady next to me, Tracy Holland, fantastic angler. She caught £71.
And she qualified?
She qualified.
For the Feeder Masters final?
And she battered me off the next day.
Oh, I tried to block that out for you, mate.
I know you did a great, but I'm just too honest, aren't I?
Yeah.
Truth be told, I mean, we all have days like that, don't we? We get beaten up by people.
I have quite a few of them.
And often you can blame it on the peg, often you can blame it on weather, but I'll be honest, this was just down to me fishing it wrong, and quite a lot of other anglers fished it totally wrong as well in hindsight. Like, I was talking to Mick Viles after, I talked to Nick Speed before the start, there were a lot of us, and we all sort of felt a fairly positive attacking match. Feeding a volume of bait through a feeder to start with, and then chucking over the top with a method feeder, which is specially allowed for this match.
Yeah.
That'd be a good approach. And that's what I did. And as I'm boshing my 20 feeder pulls in, Tracy's already got one before I've even finished feeding.
Oh no.
And she fished a great match, you know. She caught, I think, 7 carp and 9 skimmers or something like that for £71. So just a brilliant performance.
Well done, Tracy. And Ben Holmes won the match, didn't he?
Yeah.
Cuddly bear of a friend, Ben.
He did. And guess how he caught?
Same as Tracy, I heard.
Same as Tracy. So, I should buy. You know, I'm going to catch you one. Certification.
I reckon that's a crayfish. There's quite a lot of crayfish in this bit of canal, isn't there?
Glorious. We don't mind them.
Catch me a zander.
Ooh.
They're ain't cool, them little zander, aren't they?
I'm going to knock your Z out.
Oh, go on. Yes! What have you got?
No, let me strike though.
Yeah, I like your strike. What you got?
Let's have a little look, shall we? Here it is.
Verticals!
Yes!
Let's have a look at him.
Oh, he's not very calm either. There he is though, folks. There he is, sports fans. Look at him.
Percy the Perch.
Love you all, and we will update you on our antics next week.
Have a great weekend, folks.